Today's topic is Urysohn's lemma. This lemma gives us a very important result for normal spaces. This lemma is named after Soviet mathematician Pavel Urysohn. This lemma states that let X be a normal space and A, B be disjoint closed subsets of X, then there exists a continuous map F from X to closed interval AB such that f of x is equal to A for every x in A and f of x is equal to B for every x in B. That is, in a normal space, any two disjoint closed subsets are separated by a continuous map. Let us prove this lemma. We shall prove the lemma for closed interval 0, 1 instead of closed interval AB as the general case follows from that one. Let P be the set of all rational numbers lying between closed interval 0, 1. We define for each P in capital P an open set UP in X in such a way that whenever P is less than Q, we have closure of UP is contained in UQ. That means that is if P is less than Q, then closure of UP is contained in UQ. And since UP is contained in closure of UP, so we can say that if P is less than Q, then UP is contained in UQ. That means the sets UPs are defined by inclusion in the same way as their subscripts are ordered by the usual ordering in the real line. We arrange the elements of P in a sequence in some way. Say P is equal to set containing 1, 0, then 1 by 2, 2 by 2 is actually 1, that is already here, then 1 by 3, then 1 by 2 by 3, then we have 3 by 3 which is already here, then we have 1 by 4, then 2 by 4 is already here, that is 1 by 2, then we have 3 by 4 and 4 by 4 is already here, that is 1. Then 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5 and 5 by 5 is already here. Then we have 1 by 6 like this. We can write this set so that all the rational numbers of 0, 1 can be written in P. We first define U1 is equal to X minus B, that is complement of B. And since A and B are disjoint, so A is contained in U1. As U1 is an open set because P is a closed set, so its complement is open. So U1 is an open set containing closed set A. And since space is normal, so there exists an open set, say U0, which we denote here U0, such that A is contained in U0 and closure of U0 is contained in U1. We have proved that in a normal space, if a closed set is contained in some open set, then there exists an open set containing that closed set and closure of that open set is contained in the open set. So here for closed set A which is contained in open set U1, we have an open set U0 such that A is contained in U0 and closure of U0 is contained in U1. And as we have defined U1 and U0, we want to define next rational number, that is 1 by 2, which is in P. So, and here, since 1 by 2 is greater than 0 and less than 1, so here we consider set as U0 closure is contained in U1. So as U0 closure is closed set contained in open set U1. So we define open set U half such that U0 closure is contained in U half and U half closure is contained in U1. And now next rational number is 1 by 3 in P. So 1 by 3 where it lies? 1 by 3 lies between 0 and half. And so we define u1 by 3 as u1 by 3 contains u naught closure, and closure of u1 by 3 is contained in u half, and u half again is contained in u half closure and contained in u1. And now the next rational number in P is u2 by 3, and we have to find where 2 by 3 lies. As 2 by 3 is greater than half, and so we consider that u half closure is contained in u1, and so we write the set 2 by 3 as u2 by 3 contains u half closure, and u2 by 3 closure is contained in u1. Like this, we can write up for every p in capital P. Now we have defined up for all rational numbers p in closed interval 0, 1. We extend this definition to all rational numbers p in R by defining up is equal to phi if p is less than 0, and up is equal to x if p is greater than 1. Means if p is a rational number less than 0, then up corresponding set up is equal to phi, and if p a rational number p is greater than 1, then up is equal to the whole space x. Then we find that for any pair of rational numbers p and q, p less than q implies closure of up is contained in uq. If p and q are rational numbers in closed interval 0, 1, then we have defined up and uq satisfying this condition. But we have to check this condition for all rational numbers p and q. If means we have to check this condition for remaining cases. If p and q are rational numbers less than 0, then up and uq both are empty, and so this condition is satisfied. And if p is less than 0 and q is greater than 0, then uh, mm, since up is equal to phi, this condition is also satisfied. If p is um, less than 1 and greater than 0, and q is greater than 1, then uq is equal to x, so this condition is also satisfied. So now we define for each x in capital X, q of x is equal to p such that x belongs to up. Means if any element x belongs to up, then here we write the corresponding rational number in q of x. Means this is the set of all rational numbers p such that x belongs to up. Then we see that p doesn't belong to q of x for all rational numbers p less than 0. Why? Because if p is less than 0, then up is equal to phi, and so no x belongs to such ups, and so p doesn't belong to q of x for all rational numbers p less than 0. And we also note that p belongs to q of x for all rational number p greater than 1. Why? Because x belongs to up for all p greater than 1. Why? Because up is equal to x, and so we can say that for all rational number p greater than 1, p belongs to q of x. In this way, we find that q of x is bounded below. Why this is bounded below? Because no p less than 0 is in qx, and all p's which are greater than 1 are also in q of x. So it is bounded below, and its infimum is a point of closed interval 0, 1. Now we define a function f from x space x to close interval 0 1 as f of x is equal to infimum of q of x, because we have seen that infimum of q of x lies in closed interval 0 1. So we can define function f of f as f of x is equal to infimum of q of x, and that means infimum of p such that x belongs to up. We shall show that f is the desired function, that is, f separates the closed sets a and b, and f is a continuous function. So consider the case when x belongs to a. If x belongs to a, then x belongs to up for all p greater than or equal to 0, because each up contains a. And so we can say that if x belongs to a, then x belongs to up for all p greater than or equal to 0. And so q of x is the set of all non-negative rational numbers, because x belongs to up for all p greater than or equal to 0. So so q of x will be the set of all non-negative rationals. And so if we find infimum of qx, then we get 0. Similarly, if x belongs to b, then x belongs to up for no p less than or equal to 1, because all ups contain a, and so we can say that x belongs to up for no p less than or equal to 1, so that q of x consists of all rational numbers greater than 1, and so f of x is equal to 1. If q of x consists of all rational numbers greater than 1, their infimum is 1, and so f of x is equal to 1. So we have seen that uh, for each x in capital A, f of x is equal to 0, and for each x in B, f of x is equal to 1. It remains to show that f is continuous. First, we need to prove the following two results. First is x belongs to closure of UR implies f of x is less than or equal to R. And its equivalent result is its contrapositive, that is fx greater than R implies x doesn't belong to closure of UR. And the second result is x doesn't belong to UR implies f of x greater than or equal to 0, and its contrapositive is f of x less than R implies x belongs to UR. Let us prove these two results. Let us prove first result. Let x belongs to closure of UR. Then we know that if s is greater than R, then x also belongs to US. And so x belongs to US for every rational number s greater than R. Therefore, q of x contains all rational numbers greater than R. And so by definition, f of x is equal to infimum of q of x. And this will be less than or equal to R, because q of x contains all rational numbers greater than R. Now we prove the second result. Let x doesn't belong to UR. Then x doesn't belong to US for any s less than R. And so q of x contains no rational number less than R. Then by definition of f of x is equal to infimum of q of x, and this is greater than or equal to R. Now we prove that f is continuous. And to show that f is continuous, we show that for any point x naught in x, and for each neighborhood n of f of x naught, there exists a neighborhood M of x naught such that f image of M is contained in N. So let x naught belongs to x, and let f of x naught belongs to open interval CD, and this is um, a neighborhood of f of x naught in the space R. We can choose rational numbers p and q such that c is less than or equal to p, is less than f of x naught, is less than q, is less than or equal to d, because we want to find rational numbers. So here we are taking rational numbers between c and d. We claim that there exists neighborhood u of x naught such that f of u is contained in open interval CD. We shall show that open neighborhood of x naught is uq minus closure of up. Clearly, x naught belongs to u. Why? Because f of x naught is less than q, and this implies that x naught belongs to uq, as we have shown that fx less than r implies x belongs to ur. So here we have x naught, f of x naught is less than q, so x naught belongs to uq. And we also note that f of x naught is greater than p implies x naught doesn't belong to closure of up. And so we see that x naught belongs to uq minus closure of up. And we also see that u is an open set. Why? Because u is equal to uq intersection complement of closure of up. And since closure of up is closed and its complement is open, so u is nothing but intersection of two open sets. So u is open in X. Next, we show that f of u is contained in open interval CD. Let x belongs to u. Then x belongs to uq, and uq is contained in closure of uq. Then by 1, f of x is less than or equal to q. As x doesn't belong to closure of up, because x belongs to uq minus closure of up, so x doesn't belong to closure of up, and so x doesn't belong to up, and so by 2 f of x is greater than or equal to p. Thus f of x belongs to closed interval p q, and this closed interval is contained in open interval CD. So we have shown that for each neighborhood, that is open interval CD, of f of x naught in R, there exists a neighborhood u of x naught such that f of u is contained in open interval CD. But we want to show that there is a neighborhood in the space closed interval 0, 1. So we find a neighborhood of f of x naught in closed interval 0, 1. That is open interval CD intersection closed interval 0, 1. And since f of x naught belongs to closed interval 0, 1, so this is a neighborhood of f of x naught in closed interval 0, 1. So for this neighborhood of f x naught, there exists a neighborhood u of x naught such that f of u intersection close interval 0, 1, and this will be equal to f of u because all the images of elements of x are contained in close interval 0, 1. So this will be equal to f of u, and this is contained in open interval CD intersection close interval 0, 1. So we have shown that for each neighborhood of f of x naught in closed interval 0, 1, there exists a neighborhood u of f of x naught such that f image of u is contained in this neighborhood. So we can say that f is continuous. Thank you.